And here to bring us the start of the Outlaw Open Modified main event, Matt Buckler.
Let's see what happens between Rocco and Lutz. It is Lutz. He has the first answer of the race, but Rocco, he wheels and deals his way into the lead by the time they get to turn 2.
Yeah, Keith Rocco is right out in front, the place that he is so comfortable with. He's done that already once today in the Sunoco Modified race, and now he is leading again out in front of Craig Lutz and Ron Silk right there, being followed by Ronnie Williams in the 25.
Andrew Kraus made some noise on the inside, getting by Pastriak. So Kraus is now in the top 5, and Pastriak is next, followed by John McKennedy. It is Rocco who will lead the opening 2 laps. Let's see if Craig Lutz can do something about it. Remember, the last time Lutz was here, he was a winner at the World Series.
And he is right there on the back bumper of Keith Rocco. Early in the race, only 2 laps complete. But Lutz wants to stay right up there and would rather lead this thing, but he'll keep Keith Rocco honest, if you will, and stay right with him. As you said it, he was the last full modified winner here at Thompson at the World Series last fall, and he leads that freight train of 4 cars through the 3rd and 4th turn right now.
And the man in the caboose of that freight train, Ronnie Williams, looking for a clue to get by Ron Silk. So that is a pretty good battle for 3rd and 4th. Kraus in 5th, and we have
4 laps complete.
Who gets the advantage? Rocco, and he is getting shoved to the front by Ronnie Williams, and Williams moves into 2nd.
Yeah, well, a move by Williams. He's been fast, as we said, all through the weekend thus far. One of the fastest in practice yesterday and today, and really given that Casella car a good ride, that number 25. He is riding the back bumper of Keith Rocco.
As he is close enough to carve his initials on the back bumper. In 3rd is Lutz. And Silk is 4th. Pastriak rounding out the top 5. Making some noise, John McKennedy, as he is able to buzzsaw his way underneath Matt Swanson. And now Matt Jackson has picked up the tempo. He is in the top 10. But now there's room on the inside for Ronnie Williams. Let's see if he can use it.
Yeah, Ronnie made the pass once and got around Rocco and did the same thing. This is it. It's like a repeat of the last lap. He gets around, slides up in front. Rocco comes right back down to the bottom and makes the pass. Only this time, Williams is going to hang tough up on the outside as they race down into turn 3.
But Rocco only let Williams borrow the lead for a while. He has it back. Williams. He is striking on the inside, and Williams is back in front. They are trading the lead, Williams and Rocco, and the most interested spectator is Craig Lutz in car number 46.
A little further back in the pack, we talked about that battle with the number 3 of Matt Swanson and Andrew Kraus in the number 24. Here comes the 79 of McKennedy and Matt Zackham all in the action.
And Williams has opened up a little bit of a safety valve between himself and Kid Rock. And the lead as they cross the stripe is 3/10 of a second. So Ronnie Williams and the Gary Casella, number 25, he will be very busy this year in almost every modified series that there is. And right now he has the edge against Rocco and Lutz.
Watching this battle just inside the top 10. Mike Christopher there in the 7 New York, and right behind him, the 31 of Corner and Andrew Kraus in the 24. They've been going at it for a while.
And a little bit of a lunge by Corner trying to get the spot. Did a good job coming off the corner. But Kraus still has a position. That is 10th place. Right behind him is Eric Goodale.
Yeah, Kraus able to clear him now. And yes, Goodale, actually the most recent winner in the modifieds, as he did it Thursday night at Martinsville, back here to New England to race in this open modified race. Here's Sammy Reno going to work on the 92 of Anthony Nocella. Ramo down on the inside. trying to get around Nocella, and he'll go after Eric Goodale. Good run down on the bottom for Sammy Ramo.
He came into his own last year with a win in the Tri-Track Series, and he has the edge. Now we check out the battle for second. Keith Rocco in the 57, Craig Lutz in the 46, and Lutz is hovering over Rocco like a black cloud, threatening to make a move. Rocco goes up high, but Lutz is not quick enough to be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, Lutz
at least not now.
Lutz has got a pretty good view of the logo on the back of that number 57 as they race through the turn. Again, not enough momentum to take a run at him, so Rocco will hold on to that second spot. Meanwhile, Rocco watches Ronnie Williams run away with it at this point.
Now it is Missouri trying to make a move from the back half of the field, trying to get by Anthony Cecily. That will be a fight for 16th place. So there is some hard racing here. Almost every position is a battle. And we look at Bobby Santos in car number 44. As he started 11th, he is now in 14th and trying to hold off Anthony Nocella. Bobby Santos, the car in the grass. So
settle down single file, content to follow each other out of the fourth turn and across the stripe. We're approaching that competition caution, the mandatory fuel stop, but they're going to try and pick up what positions they can before we get to that point, and that includes Matt Swanson, who's going at it with Mike Christopher Jr., and there's Swanson making the pass.
And McKenna is playing the back bumper of Silk like a xylophone, trying to force some room underneath the 16. Let's see if Kennedy has enough. No, he will be patient. Watts is behind in 79. He's in 5th. Then we have Swanson in 6th. And then Mike Christopher now has moved into the top 7.
Yeah, Christopher's been on the move, although he just got passed by Matt Swanson a couple of laps ago. Christopher and then Chris Pastriak right behind him. Here's that battle up towards the front. Silk in the 16, then McKennedy in the 79, and Lutz in the 46. That is the race for 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now.
You know, it's been a roller coaster race for Andrew Krause. Right now, he is on an upsurge in 8th. Pastriak behind him, and McKennedy is not giving up. 3rd, 4th, and 5th could fit in a piggy bank. And now room on the inside for Lutz as he tries to storm his way under McKennedy, and the move did not pay off.
Could not make it happen, and he falls back in line with them. Closing in on them, though, is Matt Swanson. He's been clicking off some fast laps, and he's just now a couple of car lengths behind the 46 of Lutz. As right there, Matt Swanson comes into the picture. Add him to the mix in that race for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and now 6th.
Now Pastriak getting a visit from Bobby Santos. Santos, he lurks to the outside of the 75, and that is a fight for the top 10.
We're going to see the caution flag displayed for the mandatory fueling caution here. They have completed 30 laps, and we're right about at that point. I believe they'll let the field pass on lap 30. Would that be the case? And now the caution will come out. So the field is...
Ronnie Williams in his favorite location on the outside, as he is like he was shot out of a harpoon gun, is able to grab the lead. It looks like Usain Bolt. Now Rocco might lose second, as here comes Lutz to the outside. So second place is up for grabs.
Yeah, but look at Rocco. Just pile that thing in on turn 3. Motored right in there and holds on to that second spot. He got the outside back, wrestled it away from Craig Lutz by making that move down into turn 3 on the low side. and he is by himself now in second spot.
Now Andrew Krause trying to lightning bolt his way underneath the 06 of Ramo. And Ramo is holding his own on the outside. And Ramo will hang on to the top 7. McKennedy, he is going after the back bumper of Mike Christopher Jr. And Christopher is able to hold him off, which is not an easy chore. Ronnie Williams pulling away as he is leading Rocco by 0.3 of a second. Cautioning against Ronnie Williams. So far, Williams has been dominant on the outside. Rocco giving him a battle. They are even heading into the first corner.
Yeah, this time they hang together on the start, but Williams gets the advantage. He's able to drive in a little harder, and he's back into the lead and opening it up on the backstretch.
This time it took a little longer for the Williams dominance to start, but it certainly did. Craig Lutz on the inside. He is going against Mike Christopher. Mike Christopher has gone from the rear of the field. I think he started 17th, and he is now in the top 3.
Yeah, he's going after Keith Rocco for that second spot. Here's trouble again over in the fourth turn area. Noah corner, and
trouble in the middle of turn 3 and 4. A car's pass react, and that would put Bobby Santos in 8th place again.
Yeah, they are dicing it out on the backstretch as they sail into turn 3. There's Ronnie Silk, who started in the back after making a pit stop, and Chris Pastriak in the number 75. Here's McKennedy getting around the number 7 of Christopher. And now back to that battle with Bobby Santos and now Eric Goodale in the 58.
And Goodale is able to pull away from the 44. Ronnie Williams' lead is 0.3 of a second over Rocco. And Rocco making a rush as they head into turn number 4. But he doesn't have enough steam. Then it is Lutz, McKennedy, Mike Christopher. Remember when Mike Christopher won the open race at the World Series, his crew chief, or one of his crew members, was John McKennedy. And the lead is shrinking for Ronnie Williams.
Yeah, Rocco right there has not given up and powering on Williams, actually taking a look to the inside as they race out of turn 2.
Williams leading by a stogie. Here comes Rocco. Power move underneath Williams. Let's see if he can make it stick. They cross the line with Williams still in front, but Rocco is sitting on his lap. He is embroidered on the fire suit of Williams. McKennedy got by Lutz. He is in 3rd. Christopher in 5th. And a battle brewing between Matt Swanson and Sammy Ramo.
Well, this lap we have a new leader in Keith Rocco as he made that pass on Ronnie Williams. So Rocco able to get around Williams, but still plenty to go in this race. 83 left. And here's somebody making a charge to the front. That's Sammy Ramo in that 06. He's working the inside of Mike Christopher now.
Yeah, Christopher is in front of him. Pastriak is behind him. But a strong run by Sammy Ramo. There have been some battles in this race. A lot of hard-nosed old-school racing. And when you think old school, you think about the 36-year-old from Cromwell, Keith Rocco.
When you look at this big group of cars, which is actually being led by Matt Swanson at the front of this group in the number 3, that is a group of cars that are well behind our leaders. As the leaders are just making their way off the 4th turn, you see McKennedy making a pass on Ronnie Williams to go to 2nd. You've got to go several car lengths back from Craig Lutz, who runs in the 4th place, to get back to now Sammy Ramo, who's gotten around Matt Swanson to go to 5th.
Now it is Ron Silk trying to make a racket as he zooms in behind Eric Goodale. And Ronnie Silk, he has had his ups and downs in this race. Almost everybody has, except for Keith Rocco and Ronnie Williams, as Williams has gone from 1st to 3rd. So maybe he needs a rubber transplant, as Williams has lost 2 positions in the last handful of laps. And John McKennedy is charging after Keith Rocco.
One guy that you talk about losing positions is Mike Christopher. He has dropped like a rock and is fallen way back, pretty much outside the top 20 at this point, as he was right up there in contention a little while ago. Don't know if that's something with the car or something strategy-wise, but he is definitely off the pace compared to what he was running.
Could need fresh tires. That could be another option. As Mike Christopher, he was as high as 3rd in this race, and it wasn't that long ago.
Williams stout almost about a half a straightaway.
And McKennedy is crowding Rocco as he is moving closer. The gap between the 2 drivers is 0.18. Here comes McKennedy. Power move. Make it or break it for McKennedy. Now Rocco trying to retaliate. He can't. A new leader on lap number 52, John McKennedy.
Yeah, you said make it or break it. Boy, he made it. And he held the ground, too, coming out of turn 3. No room, or rather out of 4, no room for Rocco to get back underneath and take it back.
Not too many people can do that. Make a pass and not be threatened to lose what you gain by that pass. But McKennedy just conducted a seminar. There is trouble for Noah Corner in front of the 2 co-leaders. But Corner able to stay out of the way. He has had a lot of frustration. Ronnie Silk is able to machete his way underneath pass react. So Ronnie Silk, there are a lot of peaks and valleys in this race. And Ronnie Silk, being the veteran that he is, knows that you have to be patient. Andrew Krause and Sammy Ramo in a battle.
Yeah, that's another guy going the wrong way. Sammy Ramo, he had broken out and was well inside the top 5. He's fallen off the base, as you saw Krause.
And the outside groove has worked for Ronnie Williams on restarts. And we'll see how well it works for McKennedy.
Here they come for the green flag. And McKennedy gets the jump at the start. He'll lead him down into turn 1. Now Rocco has to contend with Eric Goodale. Goodale, who kind of came out of nowhere to get up to the front.
From out of the Goodale moves into 2nd. And he is pestering the back bumper of the McKennedy car.
I was going to say, he's giving McKennedy a headache right now as he's looking to the inside. Ronnie Silk has cleared Rocco for the 3rd spot. Rocco back to 4th. Anthony Nocella up there. There's a guy that's been on and off pit road a bunch of times, but here's that battle for the lead. McKennedy with Eric Goodale working him on the inside.
Now remember, Rocco did not change tires. And he has to battle Anthony Nocella here as they are able to sizzle their way into turn number 4. And Nocella is able to take the spot away from Rocco. And Nocella is in the top 5 again.
Meanwhile, Goodale has made the pass on McKennedy to take the lead. McKennedy's got to contend with Ronnie Silk now. Silk in the 16. Looking to the low side here in turn 3.
And here is Silk, who looks like he has some power on the inside as he will try to M16 his way underneath McKennedy, and he is able to do it. And it is Silk in 2nd, and now making a late move is Anthony Cecily. Where are these guys coming from, Pete?
Well, there's some of the cars that went to pit road earlier on and made the adjustments that are going to give them the speed at this point of the race. But keep in mind, we've still got 65 laps to go. Here's Ronnie Williams, who was just on pit road to make a tire change. And he's making a march back to the front as he goes around Anthony Nocella in the 92.
And that puts Williams in the top 5. And now trying to move up. Cecily in the 16. Williams is all over his back bumper. And Williams goes down low, and he made that look easy, getting into fourth place. Now can he make it look easy getting by McKennedy? And he certainly does.
He does. We know he's got the power because he's been strong, as we said, throughout this weekend here at Thompson. Now they go into the cross flags halfway. It's go time at this point.
Well, fresh rubber makes a difference, as Ronnie Williams has proved. Let's see what he can do against Ron Silk running second. And it is the 25 of Williams. He has the fresh rubber, and let's see if he can put it to use against Ron Silk.
Meanwhile, McKennedy working with Anthony Cecily there. Loses that spot, and Lutz gets around him to put him down another spot. So McKennedy is one of those that had not been on pit road.
Williams is able to streak underneath Ron Silk. He is in second, and he is one pass away from getting his lead back.
Yeah, he's in the tire tracks of Eric Goodale at this point. And it looks like he'll make the move right now as he dives to the inside. And he's able to drive around Goodale. Goodale tries to come back on the inside, but Williams too tough to tame. And maintains that lead. Back in front is Ronnie Williams.
And all the moves that Williams made to get to the lead have been with authority. There is nothing flimsy about those moves. A good battle. And
on Eric Goodale. They race side by side down into turn one.
And running in fifth, Anthony Cecily. So he hasn't faded that much in the last 20 laps. Is still a contender. A little deeper in the field, we're checking out a confrontation between Sammy Ramo and John McKennedy. Side.
Oh, and trouble right at the start. Cars mixing it up out there.
And Emmerling is on the grass. He goes back onto the asphalt, and the green stays out.
Boy, that could have been tragic by taking a number of cars out, but everybody is able to survive it, and Patrick Emmerling did a great job to spin around and keep on going. So it did thin out the field quite a bit up front, however. And look out, trouble going down into turn one, hard hit into the wall. John McKennedy, Eric Goodale, and Chris Pastriak all in. Santos went back onto pit road again, so he'll restart from the back with 51 laps to go. Here they come for the green flag, and that battle up front again between Craig Lutz and Ronnie Williams. Williams will get the jump and lead him down into turn one.
By the time they got to the start-finish line, Williams was in command. Now Matt Swanson doing a good job to hold off Keith Rocco, so we expected Rocco to slice his way through the field. Keep an eye on the 57 car as he tries to rocket his way through traffic, as he is now in the number 10 spot, and Ron Silk is in front of him.
Yeah, that is quite a group of cars running together there, as some of them have come alive after making the tire change, like Mike Christopher in the 7 New York, who's just ahead of Matt Swanson, and Anthony Nocella in the 92. He's been on pit road a number of times, and obviously those adjustments, they're making him in the right way because he's going the right way, making a march back towards the front. Here's the top three, and yeah, another guy that had faded, but the tire change made a world of difference for him. Sammy Ramo in the 06 up to the third spot now, in contention with both Lutz and Ronnie Williams.
That car was on life support a few laps ago. Now it's in the top three. Mike Christopher has gotten by Cecily. He is at fourth. Matt Swanson wants to go with him to the top three. Here is Swanson. Power move underneath Mike Christopher Jr. As they come out the other side out of turn number 4, it is still Mike Christopher to have the edge.
Yeah, Christopher able to hold the spot, but Swanson down on the inside. A couple of the young lions here in the modified ranks, and that's a little too close for comfort there, as it appeared that Christopher either just rubbed the wall or had to get out of it to stay off the wall, and loses a couple of spots after that battle with Swanson.
And here is Sammy Ramo. This is a fight for second. Ramo has the leverage, and he is able to scoop into second. We have 45 laps to go, and Sammy Ramo is in second place.
Yeah, he's got a great run going. But, of course, we know how bad he faded once the tires went away, so we'll have to see if he doesn't use it up too soon here. Still with 44 laps to go, Craig Lutz stays right with him. The question is, has he got anything for Ronnie Williams?
Well, now Rocco trying to approach Anthony DeSella, and he really can't get close enough to make a move. Swanson in front of DeSella.
Here they come for the restart. Green flag is in the air, and Thornton will lead him across the stripe and down into turn number one. But there is a gaggle of race cars racing to get up there, pushing and shoving. And on top of that comes Keith Rocco, as he is able to make the move to go to second. Here's Anthony Nocella working underneath the 99 of Richard Savory. Savory got high coming off the fourth turn, and everybody's trying to get around him on the outside.
Now Rocco stalking J.B. Fortin. Here he comes, heading into the middle of turns 3 and 4. And Rocco took the lead. Fortin trying to get it back. And Fortin needed a tough obstacle. He is the latest headache for Keith Rocco. And Rocco finally pulls away.
Yeah, Rocco's able to dispatch of him as they head down the backstretch. Fortin holds on to a strong second, but Rocco trying to get away. Nocella in the third spot. Matt Swanson is fourth in the number 3.
And Craig Lutz now trying to get underneath Swanson. A little torpedo move by the 47 car, and it will pay off. Now Swanson answers back. So Lutz trying to tucker him out in the fight for fourth.
Yeah, Lutz right down on the inside, going wheel to wheel with Matt Swanson as they head off the second turn and down the backstretch. That is the battle for fourth. Meanwhile, Rocco, and Fortin gets into the back of him. I was going to say, Rocco hasn't been able to displace or dispatch Fortin in that number 84, and just as we were about to say that, Fortin gave him a good shot in the back as he tried to get down underneath him, but Rocco able to correct and stay in front. Fortin hanging tough there in the second spot.
That was a pretty vicious text message sent by Fortin to Rocco. In the number 3 spot, Nocella, Craig Lutz behind him, and Swanson rounding out the top 5. Picking up his heels and trying to get by the one of Emmerling. That is Ron Silk. And Ron Silk, he is known for his late rallies at Thompson, but he is unable to get underneath Gallup.
Here's Craig Lutz going to work on Anthony Nocella. That is the race for third. Lutz is able to make the pass and pull up in front of him. He'll go to third spot. Lutz is on the move. He's one that could go and make a headache for Keith Rocco, as only Fortin is between them. And as
Speaking of headaches,
yeah,
Ronnie Williams getting underneath Matt Swanson. So Ronnie Williams is in 5th. Now remember, he has fresh rubber as well as Rocco. Well, everybody just about was able to change tires. Now he is attacking Nocella. Made it look easy. Into the top 4 is Ronnie Williams.
Here comes Craig Lutz with a move down underneath J.B. Fortin to go to second. He makes a clean pass out of turn 2 and gives chase to Keith Rocco. Now let's watch Ronnie Williams. Wow, he does the same thing. Like he shot out of a cannon down underneath Fortin.
As he was a human lightning bolt to get into the top 3. Now it is Craig Lutz He is between Rocco and Williams.
Yeah, Lutz really closed on Rocco that time. Now, pretty much on the back bumper of Rocco, that's going to make for a great battle going down here into turn 3.
And right now, Lutz is content to stay about an arm's length behind Rocco. Williams is third. And J.B. Borden, I don't know when he changed tires, but he is having a miraculous finish in this race.
So far, so good for the 84, but here's Lutz creating a headache for Keith Rocco. Looks to the inside, but can't carry the momentum out of turn 2, and Rocco will pull him down the backstretch.
That is a headache that Excedrin cannot cure. Only a fast move by Rocco. Williams moving up. DeSella being challenged by Swanson. In his hip pocket is Ron Silk. And they almost come together, and I think they did, and that was to the benefit of Swanson.
Yeah, here comes Silk with a move on Swanson. Silk down on the inside. Boy, they bang wheels there in 3 and 4. But Silk not ready to give up. Drives underneath and makes the pass on Swanson. Back to the battle for the lead. Here's Rocco with Craig Lutz right behind him.
And I think Craig Lutz is too close for Keith Rocco's comfort. As he is within handshaking distance of the 57 car. As he is laminated to the back bumper. Williams is next.
Yeah, Rocco out in front. Lutz looking for an opportunity to get a nose down underneath, but Rocco doesn't make it easy.
But he still has 17 laps in which to work his magic. Right now, the gap is 0.16. So about 0.2 of a second separating Rocco from Lutz.
Yeah, Rocco kind of diamonds the turn coming out of turn 4 and takes away the bottom, not giving Lutz an opportunity to get under there and make a run for it. But believe me, Lutz is right there waiting for the opportunity and closing in on them. Ronnie Williams, he's now within a couple of car lengths of this battle.
Yeah, if Rocco slows the pace down to take Lutz out of the equation, Ronnie Williams will be able to join the top 2. Now Lutz aims his car down low, and Rocco takes that groove away from him. We are down to the final 14 laps, and Ronnie Williams has moved into contention. So Rocco trying to hold off Lutz, and that has given Ronnie Williams an opportunity.
Yeah, as those two guys duke it out going into turn 3, Williams comes back into the picture and watches them kind of fight amongst themselves, trying to decide when he'll make a move. And a spin over in the 3rd and 4th turn. It's going to bring out the caution flag.
About 10th place on the outside. And here is Rocco as he swoops his way back in front.
Craig Lutz trying to stay with him, but now that opens the top for Ronnie Silk. Silk gets around Lutz to take over the 2nd spot. Here comes Ronnie Williams trying to work the outside of Lutz. They're all chasing Keith Rocco.
And Silk is in his hip pocket as they go into turn number 4. What about Bobby Santos? And we'll see if he can make his way through the field. Right now, he gets by Cecily, and he gets by Emerald.
Meanwhile, Ron Silk is able to make a move on Rocco. Rocco comes right back on the inside. Let's see how they do when they get to turn 3. Silk is the new leader and got around Rocco.
He took the lead with 11 laps to go.
And now here comes Ronnie Williams. Add Williams to the mix.
And Lutz is right there with him. Santos has moved up to 7th. Trying to get underneath Matt Swanson. He cannot take time in making these moves, and he made that one in a hurry. He is in the top 6.
Trouble for Todd Owen in the number 81, off the pace here on the front stretch, but he is able to drive down onto pit road and get out of the way. Meanwhile, Silk the leader with Rocco. Williams not closing on them and only 8 laps to go.
And it is Santos going after Sammy Ramo. He is able to maneuver his way under, and he choo-choo trains his way underneath Ramo. He's in the top 5, but there are only 7 laps remaining. And lengthening his lead is Ronnie Silk. We'll see if Rocco can generate a comeback. But we talked about Santos comes back. Ronnie Silk has had many of them at Thompson in his career, and he is on the verge of pulling off another one tonight.
Yeah, he has got a great run going. Another one that had been on and off pit road a few times tonight and survived a penalty after the mandatory caution on lap 30. And he's raced his way back to the front with only 5 laps to go.
So separation between Silk and Rocco. Williams in 3rd. And it is Craig Lutz holding off Santos.
Yeah, Santos may not be done as he's going to work on the outside of Craig Lutz.
Boy, if he gets a caution flag, it could change the game. He gets by Lutz. He's going to get by Ronnie Williams.
Boy.
With 3 laps to go, Bobby Santos is in 3rd place.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's running out of time. As you said, 3 laps to go. He's got into 3rd, but he's really got some real estate to cover if he's going to catch the leaders. Silk with a comfortable lead, Rocco in 2nd, and Santos in 3rd starts to drive away from Lutz and Ronnie Williams. But again, running out of time with 2 laps to go.
Ronnie Silk made the move in turn number 2. The dust off Rocco. Now he is about a lap away from a $10,000 check. Rocco trying to pick his pocket as they go into turn number 4. 1 lap for victory for Ron Silk. Rocco in 2nd. Santos with a miraculous comeback is 3rd, but the spotlight is on Silk as he is able to launch himself into turn number 4 for the final time. Write a $10,000 check to Ron Silk. Ron Silk has won the Open Outlaw Open Modified 120.